Any way to use SSMS to connect to MySql? I've grown to love SQL Server Management Studio, SSMS. I realize that it is not naturally compatible. However, is there a way of connecting to MySql? Perhaps using an odbc connection? I realize there are plenty of MySql admin tools, but it would be great to use SSMS. Thanks for the help.
Does this help? Creating a linked server in SSMS for a MySql database. Download the MySql odbc driver from mysql.com. Install MySql odbc driver on server where SQL Server resides. Double-click Windows installer file and follow directions. Create a DSN using the MySql odbc driver. Start in GT, Settings in GT, Control Panel in GT, Administrative Tools in GT, Data Sources, odbc. Click on the System DSN tab. Click Add. Select the MySql odbc driver. Click Finish on the Login tab. Type a descriptive name for your DSN. Type the server name or IP address into the server text box. Type the username needed to connect to the MySql database into the user text box. Type the password needed to connect to the MySql database into the password text box. Select the database you'd like to start in. On the Advanced tab, under Flags 1, check Don't Optimize Column Width. Check Return Matching Rows. Check Allow Big Results. Check Use Compressed Protocol. Check Big Int Columns to Int. Check Safe under Flags 2. Check Don't Prompt upon Connect. Check Ignore Hash and Table Name under Flags 3. Check Return Table Names for SQL. Check Disable Transactions. Now test your DSN by clicking the Test button. Create a linked server in SSMS for the MySql database. SSMS, SQL Server Management Studio and GT, expand server objects. Right-click Linked Servers and GT, select New Linked Server on the General page. Linked Server, type the name for your linked server. Server type, select Other Data Source. Provider, select Microsoft ODB provider for odbc drivers. Product name, type MySql database. Data source, type the name of the DSN you created on the security page. Map a login to the remote user and provide the remote user's password. Click Add under Local Server Login to Remote Server Login Mappings. Select a local login from the drop-down box. Type the name of the remote user. Type the password for the remote user. Change the properties of the provider. MySql expand providers in GT, right-click MySql in GT, select Properties. Enable nested queries. Enable level 0 only, this one's the kicker. Enable allow in process. Enable supports like operator. Change settings in SQL Server surface area configuration for features. Enable Open Browse It and Open Data Source support. Change settings in SQL Server surface area configuration for services and connections. Enable local and remote connections via TCP/IP and named pipes. Stop SQL Server and SQL Server Agent. Start SQL Server and SQL Server Agent.
Yes, you can. Download MySql odbc driver, this URL and install. Go to odbc Data Source Administrator and GT, User DNS and GT, add, and fill all the fields with the right informations. Then test if the connections works. Go to odbc Data Source Administrator and GT, System DNS and GT, add, and fill all the fields with the right informations. Then test if the connections works. In SSMS, go to Server Objects in GT, Link Servers in GT, New Link Server. Under General Set, Link Server, put what you want. I put the name of the server for simplicity. Provider, Microsoft odbc provider for odbc drivers. Product name, put what you want. I put the name of the server for simplicity. You might want to put MySql. Data source, must have the same name as the system data source's name. Under security, select be made using the security context and enter your user and password for remote login to MySql. Under server options, set RPC and RPC out as true. Go to Server Objects in GT, Link Servers in GT, Providers in GT, MySql, and enable Nested Queries, Level 0 only, Allow and Process, Supports like Operator. Restart SQL Server and SQL Server Agent. You can now query MySql from SSMS using this structure. Select from Open Query linked _ server _ name. Select from database _ name dot table _ name. Or simply
If you want to support the channel, press consider subscribing.